Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be showing how to create this red glittery smoky eye, perfect for Valentine's Day. So if you are interested in seeing how to create this look, just keep on watching. So I'm starting off by prepping my skin with Jafra Cosmetics Royal Jelly Moisturizer. And I really like this moisturizer because it doesn't leave my skin feeling greasy, but it also leaves it very well hydrated. So it's perfect for my skin type right now that the weather's a little bit colder. And for my under eyes, I'm going to hydrate that with the Time Dynamics Under Eye Cream, which is also by Jafra Cosmetics. And got to keep those lips hydrated, so I'm going in with Aquaphor. And now we are ready to move on to the eyes. So I'm using Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden, just applying that all over the eyelids. And I went ahead and did my eyebrows off camera just to keep things a little bit quicker for you guys. So now, going in with MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC20, just to give myself a clean base to start with, since we are going in with some pretty bold colors. Going in with the fluffy blending brush, I'm going to pick up two neutral shades, and I always use these two shades from the Jafra Cosmetics from the iconic Nudes palette, and I'm going in with those bottom two left shades. I'm going to use that to set the concealer in place. This also works as our transition color. With the flat eyeshadow brush, eyeshader brush, whichever way you want to call it, I'm picking up those same two shades and I'm just applying that right under the brow bone where I cleaned up with concealer. Now it's very important for me to do this because sometimes in pictures, if you don't blend out that concealer well enough, it will show through. So just to make things all even, doing that. So going in with these two shimmer shades now. Again, I use this palette always to start with in every single look. And I'm just applying that to the brow bone. Then using MAC with Just a Wisp Mineralized Blush, and it's a pretty pink shade. So I plan on using this later on in the tutorial for my highlights, so figured that would go good. To warm up the crease a bit more, I'm going in with Ben Nye Spice on that same fluffy brush, and I'm just applying that all over the crease and bringing it up a little bit towards the brow bone. Next, going in with Ben Nye's Black Plum, and on a tapered blending brush, we're going to deepen the crease. So I'm just applying that straight into my eye socket, looking straight ahead to make sure that that is where the color placement should be. And then I'm going to blend that out a bit more. So just slowly building up that color. On a flat shader brush, I'm going in with Ben Nye's Flame Red and applying that directly to the eyelid. And then going back in with that tapered brush with no more product on it, just blending the two colors together. And now for the glitter. So going in with Too Faced Glitter Glue, I'm going to apply that directly all over the eyelid. Now this red glitter, guys, it came in a tower years ago. I bought it like that, I think off of eBay. I really don't remember, but yeah, I love this red. It's super intense. Now because this glitter is pretty chunky and it does have fallout, I like to use whatever's left from my glitter glue, and I'm just going to seal right over the top of that to make sure that everything stays in place so that there's not so much fallout. And just gonna clean up those edges with a makeup remover wipe. So I'd rather do this than apply tape and peel off the tape from my skin, and it's just too harsh. So I just rather clean up those lines with a wipe. Now I'm ready for eyeliner. So I'm using my Artist of Makeup Extreme Art Liner pen to create my wings. And as always, I'm cleaning up that edge with some foundation or concealer, whichever. I found my foundation was closer to me at the time, so that's what I used. Now before I get to the lashes, I'm going to go ahead and prep the skin a bit more using Milk of Magnesia. That's right guys, I'm sure you've heard this trick before, but I just use whatever's on the cap and just apply that down the T-zone, which is generally where I get the most oily. And for lashes, I'm going in with Ardell's number 605, and I'm using House of Lashes glue, the clear one, to apply those. And for any glue that looks like it's trying to peek through, I'll go ahead and conceal that with the same Extreme Art Liner pen. For foundation, we are going in with Maybelline's Matte and Poreless. And I first start to stipple that on all over my face. And I'm just using a buffing motion because I like to do 2 layers. But for the first layer, I'd like it to be thin and cover just well enough so that when I go back in with the second layer, it's not as thick. So I'm just applying that all over my face, avoiding the under eye area. And as I said, on to layer number 2, but this time I'm focusing it only on my cheeks because that's where I want the most coverage. I do have some scarring right there, so with whatever's left with that second layer, I make sure to bring it down the neck. I don't want to do 2 layers on the neck. I don't want to do 2 layers on the nose. I just keep it really on the cheeks and blend the rest of the face out. As always, I'm going in with my LA Girl-Pro Conceal Orange Corrector, applying that just on the under eye area where I have the darkness. I'm going to blend that out using a TNT concealer brush. TNT Cosmetics TNT Agency concealer brush. Now I'm first going in with NARS Ginger. It's the Radiant Creamy Concealer in Ginger, and all I'm doing right now is just trying to blend my foundation into, blend the concealer into the foundation. And then I'll go in and highlight with using a brighter concealer. Again guys, I don't use beauty blenders, I don't use sponges to blend out my concealer or foundation or anything like that. So I prefer to always use a brush. So here I'm going in with NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. And I only use Custard when I want that super highlighted effect, because as you can see, this is a lot lighter than my skin tone. But I want that effect whenever I'm doing a full glam. I want to have those areas highlighted, so down the bridge of my nose, a little bit on the forehead, and under my eyes. And I'm blending that out using a Real Techniques pointed foundation brush and using a pushing patting motion. I say that often, guys. So going in with LA Girl-Pro Conceal in the shade Beautiful Bronze, I'm going to map out the contour areas. And to blend all that out, guess what I'm gonna use? A beauty blender. Psych. Going in with a, I believe this is by Royal and Langnickel. It's a foundation brush. I like to use a foundation brush just to keep everything right in the area that I want it to be. So as you can see, I'm kind of stabbing my face with that foundation brush. Just kidding. So I'm just using a pushing, patting motion, and I'm starting to blend, blend, blend. Imagine if I could really blend that fast, guys. That's some major skills for y'all. So when it comes to the cheek contour, I always blend up. I don't like to bring it too far in. I usually keep it just, I would say that I would bring the contour right under the pupil area. And then for the jawline, I'm just going back and forth, back and forth. To clean up under the contour, going in with whatever's left from on my hand from the foundation and just trying to blend everything together. Lastly, I'll go in with this buffer foundation brush just to set everything in place. Now when it comes to the nose contour, I'll use a small brush just to make sure that those lines are a lot more precise. And to make my contour stand out a little bit more, I'm going to go back in with NARS-Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard again. Now we're ready to bake. So as I mentioned before and in all my videos, you got to smooth away any creases and lightly set with powder before you bake. This is my trick and it works really well for me. Does not give me any cakiness. It just sets it very beautifully. So this is the only time you see me using a sponge, guys. And it's a dry Real Technique sponge. When it comes to those oily T-zone areas, I make sure to powder the entire area with that sponge. I make sure to bake, bake, bake. I also do around my mouth because when you start laughing, you can get those smile lines and the foundation can crack and crease, and nobody wants that. For the rest of the face, I'm just using a larger powder brush and using the same RCMA translucent powder to set the rest of the face. Now we're going to warm up the skin with MAC Give Me Sun on that same big fluffy brush. We're going to do the cheeks. Along the forehead. And to deepen the contour a bit more, and that's why this is I only do this when it's a full glam. I'll go in with this Real Techniques contour brush and Anastasia Beverly Hills contour powder in the shade Cinammon, and I'll deepen up that contour a bit more. Using that same color, I'm gonna contour my nose. Now I'm ready to dust everything away using that Real Techniques contour brush again. And for a little bit more brightness, I'm going in with the vanilla shade from that Jafra Cosmetics palette just to set the forehead and a little bit more under the eyes. Now I'm going in with LA Girl Cosmetics Glide Gel Eyeliner in the color Very Black. And I'm applying that to the waterline and bringing that onto the lower lash line to smoke it out a bit. And I'm basically going to use the same colors that I used on my eyelids on the lower lash line. So first going in with Black Plum on an angled brush. Then I'm picking up Flame Red on a pencil brush and just smudging all that out together. Now it's time for mascara. And I always use Maybelline's Great Lash. For highlight, as I mentioned before, I'm going in with MAC Just a Wisp Mineralized Blush. And it's a pretty pink tone, so it's perfect for Valentine's, I think. And just applying that to the cheeks. And for blush, we're going in with NYX Ignite Passion. Then I'm gonna clean up a little bit under my contour areas using this Real Technique sponge and a little bit of translucent powder. I really wish I could tell you what brand and lip liner shade this is, but I really don't remember, guys, and the name's rubbed off already. So old. But so I'm going in with NYX lip cream first in the color Stockholm. And then over that, I'm going in with the color Tokyo. And I definitely prefer these matte lip creams over matte lipstick anytime, any day of the year, because my lips are always dry. So I can't really do matte lipsticks for too long. And to finish up the lips, I'm topping it off with Jafra Cosmetics Regal Mauve Lip Gloss. And for my setting spray, I'm going in with First Aid Beauty Vitamin Hydrating Mist. Now, I wouldn't really say that this is a setting spray. If anything, I like to use this since I use a crap load of powders. So this helps just absorb the powders into my skin so that it's not just sitting on top of my skin. And that is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great Valentine's Day filled with much love.